grace and the peace of God the Father and Son Jesus our Lord be with you today as I welcome you back to your morning devotion, your home-based ministries network right here. This is your cup of joe. Good morning to the evangelist Dexter Friday, Sambri De La Rosa. Top of the morning to you, man, and all that is taking place in your atmosphere. God, may God's hand be mighty upon it. In Jesus' name, and to all of you guys across the various social media networks, bless you. God bless you. May God bless you. We are at chapter 9 and verse 9 today, and Matthew gives us his introduction. So he says that when Jesus left from where he was, he saw Matthew sitting at the taxation checkpoint. Matthew proceeds to tell us of his own first interaction with Jesus here, not going into much detail though, just mentioning to us at this point his employment to us, and that Jesus told him to follow him, and then he arose. It was an immediate answer or response to an immediate call. That's it. That's all it takes. An immediate response to an immediate call. Now this also shows us that Matthew had to compile the information that he had and did not write his account at the same time they may have taken place. Verse 10, Matthew then tells us of a formal dinner which Jesus attended in a house where the guests predominantly were other tax collectors and erroneous people, along with him and his disciples. This follows the healing that took place with the paralyzed man, and Jesus proving his authority to many who were present along with the scribes who were there. Jesus seems to have no discriminate attitude towards anyone. It's like he is having dinner with the criminals and ruthless politicians comfortably. That leaves much to be spoken about. All these things had to be done for completion to line up. Verse 11, the Pharisees who saw what was taking place questioned Jesus' disciples, asking them why was he eating with publicans and sinners, which just highlights their discrimination above everything else, which also identifies not only who were comfortable in his presence, but who found it uncomfortable for those who were comfortable in his presence. You all understand that? There were those who were uncomfortable about who were comfortable in Jesus' presence. Now look at the two categories of persons. What you see is that the Pharisees saw themselves as the top of the religion chain, whilst they looked down on the publicans, and you are going to see how Jesus is going to dismantle this whole thing in verses chapter 21 to chapter 23. Whilst they looked down on the publicans and who they identified as sinners, maybe because they did not attend to the letter of the law as they did, as a lower order of persons. So although some of them may not have accepted Jesus, they disapproved of who were in his company, as well as there may have been some following him who questioned what they saw because of a lack of understanding. It's like when someone says that they do not want to be part of something, but then they begin to look at all who are a part of what they didn't want to be any part of and get angry or upset. So they made their choice and want to make your choice also. As we continue to move forward, it would be a good thing to sternly consider the attitudes of the scribes and the Pharisees, to remind ourselves that sometimes being in a good position causes you to sometimes cultivate self-righteous attitudes. Sometimes we think that we have the responsibility to say who could sit where and who should or should not be doing what. Don't look at others lesser than yourselves, especially considering if you came from the same position to a point of power. I'm not saying to not be discerning, but be conscious of what was done for us, not to be depriving to others. Remember also that when you get the call, do not allow any present condition or situation you may see of yourself be counted as a hindrance. Move immediately into the presence of the Lord. It's about his power to change you, not about your effort to change for him. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is Pastor Solomon De La Rosa in God's grace.